everyone! How are you all doing? On this occasion, I will once again accompany your free time by discussing a film with the theme of a sniper's revenge against the residents of an apartment who are considered high-class criminals. This film is titled Tower Block, which was released in 2012. At the beginning of the film, we are introduced to the story of an apartment building called Tower Block. This apartment was originally built to provide shelter for people after World War I and World War II. However, over time, the apartment that was once home to decent people has now turned into a hub of criminal activity, including drug deals, theft, and even murder. The film then follows a young man named Nick, who is being chased by two thugs. In desperation, he runs toward the apartment and starts pleading for help from the other residents. However, instead of receiving help, the residents refuse to assist him, even though they witness Nick being brutally beaten by the two thugs. One of the residents, a woman named Becky, steps out to help him, but as she tries to break up the fight, she is suddenly beaten mercilessly by the two thugs to the point of losing consciousness. The next day, a detective named John arrives at the apartment to investigate the assault from the previous night, as Nick has now been found dead in a tragic manner. Through his investigation, John speculates that the mastermind behind this murder is a drug dealer who lives in the apartment. However, when he tries to get statements from the apartment residents, they refuse to provide any information, especially regarding who is known for selling drugs in the building. Shortly after, the film jumps forward to a month later, with Nick's murder case still unsolved and the killer unidentified. Due to the frequent crimes occurring in Tower Block, the frustrated government decides to send a real estate agent to persuade the residents to move out of the apartment. However, instead of being persuaded, the residents refuse to leave. They even demand the government officials to leave the apartment immediately. The next day, while all the apartment residents are going about their daily activities, the Wi-Fi and electricity in the building suddenly shut off. Meanwhile, in another part of the apartment, Becky is relaxing and enjoying a cup of tea with her boyfriend when, out of nowhere, a sniper suddenly fires.
Stop!
But it doesn't stop there. The mysterious sniper, positioned in the neighboring apartment building, brutally continues his assault, targeting any residents within his line of sight. After the attack, which kills several residents, the survivors gather and help each other while trying to cover all possible openings to prevent the sniper from seeing their movements.
Why is it not working?
Jenny!
It's been shimming at everyone, we don't know why.
I was just scared!
However, the real problem is that the sniper has already jammed the signal and destroyed the building's elevator, leaving the survivors trapped with no way to call the police for help. Shortly after, Becky and a man named Paul enter one of the rooms to check on a resident named Curtis and make sure he is safe. Fortunately, Curtis is unharmed. Without hesitation, Becky quickly explains the current situation, that a mysterious sniper is trying to kill everyone in the apartment. Then, after regrouping, everyone discusses the sniper's possible motives for trying to kill them and plans their next move to escape alive. Unwilling to just sit and do nothing, the remaining survivors work together to repair the elevator and restore the power supply. After some effort, they finally manage to get the previously broken elevator working again. However, Just as one of the men is about to step inside, a deadly trap set by the sniper is triggered. After disarming the trap, Becky, Paul, and Curtis muster the courage to descend to the lower floor using the emergency staircase. At first, their plan seems to be going smoothly as they successfully reach their destination. However, just as they are about to head for the exit, they are shocked to find that the door has been completely blocked by a heavy object, preventing them from escaping the apartment. Feeling that their efforts have been in vain, they decide to return upstairs and inform the other residents that the exit has been blocked. One of the residents, overcome with despair and convinced that they will never make it out alive, walks toward a window. The moment he steps into the sniper's line of sight, he is immediately shot and killed. Later that night, as they remain confused about the sniper's true motives, tensions rise, leading to a heated debate. Eventually, Curtis speculates that the sniper might be seeking revenge for Nick's death 3 months ago and could even be one of his family members. This realization sparks an idea. Curtis suggests handing over the 2 thugs responsible for Nick's murder, Flat and Robbie, to the sniper in hopes of stopping the massacre. Terrified at the thought of being handed over, the 2 thugs finally confess the truth. On the night of the attack, they initially only intended to collect a debt from Nick. However, when Nick resisted, they lost their temper, and in the heat of the moment, they accidentally killed him. However, despite their explanation, Curtis, already consumed by anger, and convinced that the sniper's hunt is entirely because of them, doesn't hesitate. Without further discussion, he forces the 2 thugs toward the window one by one, exposing them to the sniper's line of sight. After handing them over, the remaining survivors anxiously wait, unsure whether the sniper will stop or continue the massacre. A resident named Carol, along with her son Daniel, hopes that the sniper has finally gotten his revenge for Nick's death and will now cease his attacks. However, just as they step outside suddenly, which means the sniper's true motive wasn't just revenge for Nick's death. Becky, now completely unsure of what to do next, desperately searches for a way to escape the apartment. Fortunately, not long after, she comes up with an idea. She explains that they should try climbing down the building from the other side using cloth or hoses tied together as makeshift ropes. Although the plan is extremely risky, Paul, unwilling to sit back and do nothing, volunteers to go first. However, just as they finish preparing and head toward the rooftop, a hidden trap near the door is triggered, instantly shooting one of them. After quickly disarming the trap, Becky, Curtis, and Paul waste no time and rush to the rooftop to execute their escape plan. However, the sniper, realizing their plan, immediately starts shooting at the hose they were using as a rope to climb down. Paul, who was only halfway down, tragically falls from the top floor and dies. Now, only 3 survivors remain: Becky, Curtis, and an elderly man named Robert. In a desperate move, they decide to execute a crazy plan, setting fire to all the rooms on the top floor. Their hope is that the massive blaze will catch the attention of people outside, forcing them to notice their situation. With this, sooner or later, the firefighters will have no choice but to come to the apartment. The next morning, they put their plan into action, setting fire to all the rooms on the top floor. However, just as Curtis is about to head downstairs to follow Becky, he suddenly slips and falls, causing one of his legs to break. Meanwhile, outside the building, 2 men notice that the nearby apartment is on fire, and immediately rush over to check the situation. However, just as they step out of their car, the sniper suddenly emerges from his hiding spot. ready to continue hunting Becky, Curtis, and Robert, who are still trapped inside. Before making his next move, the sniper hurls a grenade into the apartment, escalating the chaos even further. Seizing an opportunity, Becky quickly dashes out of hiding to grab a nail gun from a nearby car. With coordinated teamwork, they manage to incapacitate the sniper. At that moment, the shocking truth is finally revealed. The sniper is none other than Detective John, the very same investigator who came to the apartment days earlier to look into Nick's murder. His motive for the massacre? John believed that the apartment was a breeding ground for crime, and he was determined to wipe out everyone living there. Just as they are about to finish him off, the psychotic detective suddenly fights back, overpowering them and throwing them into chaos. However, before he can continue his execution, Becky, who has now secured the nail gun, wastes no time and without hesitation, she fires multiple shots, finally killing Detective John. In the end, with the nightmare finally over, Becky, Curtis, and Robert manage to escape the apartment safely as the building continues to burn behind them.